Houston Running Zone, the ultimate podcast for runners in the Houston area, featuring the everyday runners who inspire us, clubs, gear, races, and runcations. Houston, we've got the runs.
All right, today in the zone, I have an ultra positive ultra runner. She just ran 185 miles from the Texas Independence Relay, but she just did it solo. So we're going to get that story, so much more. Let's go and get right into it. Welcome to the zone, Lydia Rios.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, yeah, I've been super excited. I've been happy all day because I originally found out about you from a mutual friend. And I've been kind of following you on social media. And of course, you did Snowdrop. We're going to get into it, but I really want to get into the Texas Independence Relay solo. You did 185 miles. How long did that take you to accomplish?
Close to 70 hours, 60 something. I go to sleep and I wake up and I'm thinking, which leg am I on? What am I doing? I'm still processing everything that happened because it seemed like it happened so quickly.
That's a heck of a commitment to keep going, I'd imagine.
It was a commitment, and there was no quitting. So we were going to get it done.
Yeah, no quitting. That's super cool. I mean, just the fact that I'm going to do it regardless. And really, the big thing is you are raising money and are continuing to raise money for Christopher. Can you kind of tell the story of why you decided to run it and why you decided to kind of raise money for Christopher?
So I actually had a Christopher in my heart since December. I work with ministry, and not work, but I volunteer with the ministry, and we find sponsors around Houston, and we bless kids that are in need. If, for example, kids in a shelter or kids in, who maybe lost their parents. I know Christopher because I volunteer in the Champions Club at my church, a Lakewood church. And I don't know, I just had him in my heart. So on Christmas, we tried to get a wheelchair donated, and we couldn't get it. So what I planned to do was run the Tordelos, Texas, the 600K, and raise the money. But unfortunately, I got sick with COVID. So I couldn't do that race. But when, my friends were doing the race, I was crying, and because I wanted to do that race, but also because I had Christopher in my heart. He has autism, but he also has several other disabilities that he cannot walk. So he's able to stand up, and when he's in church, it takes 2 or 3 volunteers to, move him from one room to the other one without using the wheelchair. And his mom, I don't know all the story, but I know that she's a widow and she has another daughter. So whenever she goes to work, her daughter helps with Christopher. And as a single mom myself, and I have 4 boys, 3 living with me right now. My oldest one moved out. And my twin boys, who are 13, they both have disabilities. I can just imagine, the weight on this woman's shoulders they have whatever wheelchair that she can afford. And she was telling me how he gets blisters on his hands when he goes to the store and moves the wheelchair. And maybe that's why I had him in my heart, because there was a need. And, I know that there's a community out there always looking for ways to help. And so as a single mom myself with 2 kids with disabilities, I know how much, having a child with disability costs. You buy, for example, my kids, I buy one of my boys' headphones, noise concealed headphones, and he goes through them And so that's why I wanted to do it for Christopher and his mom, because she also has a very small car, so she has to carry her son. So we're hoping to get the wheelchair, but we're also hoping to get a van, an accessible van so mom doesn't have to carry Christopher from the wheelchair to the car, because she has a very small car.
Wow. Yeah. It all starts somewhere. And I think the wheelchair is around $10,000 and you're 60-70% of the way there, I believe. Correct?
Yes. So I'm not exactly sure how much his wheelchair is going to cost, but we're going to take him to a place where he's going to get fitted, weighted, Somebody who knows what is he able to do, what he can do, because it has to be personalized. It cannot. My kids, if I try to get them a bike, and to get them a bike, it's about $1,000, and the therapist has to see what can they do. Can they move the pedals and all of that? So it's having a kid with a disability. It's expensive. It's expensive. You cannot just get anything in.
Well, I'm thinking as you're running, is that why you didn't give up? Or I've seen you run incredible miles before, but how often are you thinking about Christopher, or are you just kind of thinking that I should be doing this because he can't, or what's going on in your mind? Because what you're doing is completely amazing, not only for him, but just inspiring so many people to get out there.
So it's 185 miles. It's a lot of time to think, right? Or not to think. Sometimes not thinking could be the best thing that can happen because the time goes by faster. But at the end, the last 3 miles, and my friend Lisa, who was crewing me, she said, I have seen you. I have seen you at the end, always giving your best. You always have it in you. I have given everything by that point. I had no energy in me. I was in so much pain. I didn't cry in front of my friends, but I was in so much pain. And so I walk. As I walk, I remember, when we moved Christopher from one room to the other one, and how it takes 2 or 3 volunteers to move him. And I said, if I just walk it, I'll reach it. I'll reach that goal, and it's for him. So I think about a lot of things, my kids, where I've been, where I was, where we're going, the people that are around me, how I feel that I have healed, that I don't have anger in me, that I don't have to be angry or crying to achieve a goal. So lots of time to think.
Well, originally, what made you start running? Because you just can't go from 0 to 185 in the hills with an incredible mission. I listened to the Trotcast, but I forgot the dates. I didn't write it down. It was 3, 5. It was about 5 years ago, or what made you start running in the first place?
My very first race was in the Chevron Houston, the marathon in 2016. So at the end of 2015, I was dealing with PTSD. I was imagining things, hearing things, seeing things. I couldn't sleep. My life was a nightmare. I wanted to end my life. And I would think of many reasons of why I should not be here anymore. A year before, in 2014, my boy's dad had left us for domestic violence and abuse to a child. So when he found out that I pressed charges, he left the country. And I guess that, along with the daily struggles of being a single parent, solo parent, I don't have that support of, that I can leave my kid with his dad for a weekend and have a weekend off. I don't have that. You can't just get a babysitter with my kids. It's when you have a kid with disability, it's hard, especially if you have 2. So, or more, because there are families that have more than 2. So in 2015, at the end of 2015, I said, I need to do something or I'm going to end up dying. Because my little one, we were driving to therapy and I was just crying. I was a mess. And he said, why are you always crying? And it was a wake-up call. And I realized that they had lost a dad by choice. And they were about to lose a mom by choice too, because I was choosing to let it go. And so I said, I have to do something. And I said, I'm going to do something that scares me and something that most people will be afraid or terrified to do. So I signed up for the Chevron. It was sold out, and I signed up because I actually was volunteering at the Ronald McDonald house, and I met a little girl who who was waiting for donation. organ donations for her lungs. She needed new lungs. And so I said, I'll volunteer. I'll run as a hero to raise money for this cause. And that's how I got in. And so I ran the Chevron, and it was horrible. I finished, but it was horrible. It was painful. And I said, well, next year I'm going to do it, but I'm going to train. So I did something that most people would say is like, oh, there's only so much population and it's going to take you forever. People told me, do the half. And I said, I'm not doing half because I know I can do a half. I need to do something to prove to myself that I'm able, that I'm worth it, that I'm, that I have something in me. And that's why I do it. I did it. I was never an athlete. I never ran. I never did sports, but it was just that it was that or dying, I guess. So, and I didn't want my kids to lose me. I think that was what said, the pain was temporary. And what I got from it was, life.
Oh my goodness. I'm just thinking 0 to a marathon is one thing. The fact that it was your son that gave you the wake-up call. For so many people, I'd imagine it would be so easier to just kind of be like, I'm just a victim and just kind of roll with it. But what was that? There's a spark there, like the spark that says, how do you go from 0 to a marathon? Like, did you run 5 minutes and go, whoa, that was hard? Or I was like, that's amazing.
Well, I think the spark, or that I got it from my kids with special needs. I was told that they were not going to be able to talk. They are nonverbal, but they have found ways to communicate, and they have some words. And so I was told they were not going to be able to potty train, and I potty trained both of them, and they have overcome so much. And so when I see that grit, that I don't give up, and that even though they have so many challenges, they're still full of joy. I don't think I can put an excuse to not accomplish what I said I'm going to accomplish.
I wish we'd save this video because I can see kind of like this belief, like, I believe I'm more than a victim. I don't want to use that terminology, but like the things that you've overcome is just, what am I complaining? What is anybody that's listening to complaining about?
I had my moments where I felt like a victim, and I acted like one, and I seek I think the good thing that I did is when I was in that place, I seek help because I didn't want to end up in that. I didn't want to be like, I'm going to live the rest of my life angry and upset and broken because this happened to me. I said, because this happened to me, I'm going to rise higher. So I guess it was a switch. I had to switch the way that I was thinking because it's easy to stay in that place, very easy. And you will find a lot of people who will tell you it's okay to stay in that place. But I didn't want to. To, especially when I see my kids. How can I expect now that they're 13 and they're growing, they're becoming adults, how can I expect them to one day live on their own if I'm not able to do something? Like I want to live by, not just by words, but actually by example. So I don't take from them.
Well, yeah, we all have issues or something going on. Obviously, not to your extent, or most of us not to extent. You said ask for help. I really want to make sure that we kind of give people. Is there like a resource? Just for people that are having issues, whether it's the same issues or different issues. Like, what are some ways people say, how do I get help? What are do you lean on a friend, a hotline, things like that? What can some people do, or what did you do?
So what I did is. When the boy's dad left me, I seek help for women who have been abused. So we're talking about either emotional, sexual. There are places where they will help you. Shelters. You don't have to go live in a shelter, but there are places that are even free. So if money is an issue, there are places that are free. I also look, my church and a counselor in my church. What else did I do? I think I also came to the point where I will go to therapy and they will be like, well, do this, do that. And I will come back like a week later and I'll be like, you know what happened? I did this. And my counselor will be like, you are rising higher. Like, this is not normal. And I said, because honestly, my kids don't give me a choice. I have to. And I guess I have always been this way where I've been a victim. You know, it was very hard for me to accept that I allow another person to, you know, mistreat me or control me, manipulate me. Because if I go back to my childhood and, you know, as a young girl, I have always been a fighter. I have always been. No, I mean, I have made mistakes, a lot of mistakes, but I have always, maybe my parents, you know, I don't know, life. I don't know. There's just something that says, this is not it.
Wow. That's great. Well, I mean, we all make mistakes and you're just courageous enough to talk about it, honestly. But moving, you know, in the running path, you're working, you know, sons. How are you fitting in the time to train? Because that's a big thing too. I don't have time to train, or I made the excuses before. I'll be honest, I've made excuses easy. So how do you fit in the time to train to get to 185 miles, let alone a marathon?
Okay, so before I go there, I have one thing that I do want to go back because there's a lot of stigma. Medicine. It was very hard for me to seek help from a doctor. So I actually, I took antidepressants for a while. Then when I started running, I was okay for a while. And then recently I went back. When my kids hit puberty, we had chaos in my house and it was just too much for me. Mm-hmm. And I went to my doctor and explained what was, you know, the new changes in the house. And I went back to my medicine. So it helps. It helps. It's like when you break your leg or your arm, or you have some disease, you take medicine. Well, it's the same for your brain. So, and moving to how do I find? So I actually, when I first started, it was basically from race to race. I will just sign up from one race to the other one because I was either too lazy, not committed enough, too tired. So I just jumped from one race to the other one. That's how I train. So when I did Brazos Bend, my first 50 miler, my first ultra, then I did a 100K, I believe it was Habanero. So I just jumped from race to race. And then from the 100K, I signed up for Orion 100. That was my first 100 miler.
Oh my.
And then I think I did another 100K and then another 100 miler. So that's how I did it at the beginning. Right now I do try to, I don't run a lot during the week, but I do go and exercise. You know, I have a friend who's a trainer and he's committed to help me. So I work out with him twice a week and then I go to the YMCA and take classes in there.
So you just sign up, so you have a commitment, and then is it in the morning or just whenever you can fit it in? You call your
whenever I can, yes.
You are in the Houston running zone. We've got the runs.
Yeah, those are some great trail racing over Texas. I had Rob on a couple weeks ago. Amazing company, him and Rachel, that they do. But Orion, that's hard packed sand. You did 100 miles in the hard packed sand. Is that correct? So was that the Surfside one?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and so you see that when I started running with them, and before doing my 50 miler, I had only done the Chevron 2016. Chevron 2017. There's a race in College Station that I did in December of 2016, and then a Seabrook in March. And then I found out about Brazos Bend, and I was afraid. I was very afraid, and one thing I said, I'm not gonna find the time to train. It's either now or, I'm gonna regret it. So I signed up, and what made me sign up for the 100 miler was that I actually had drove to Lake Jackson to end my life in that beach. So when I found out that they had that race in there, I said, well, this might be my time to get my, it's like payback. I'm gonna get back what the enemy, like, it was something that I had lost, like my confidence, myself. And it was just something to like get my life back. So that's why I think that's why I finished the 100-miler in there, because it was my first one. I had no experience, and I don't even know how I did it.
Well, this is the most positive addiction ever. Is that how you met Vicki Jones through trail racing? Okay, terrific.
Yes, she's amazing.
Oh yeah. We're twins, actually. We have different parents, but we're born the same day. So it's my twin sister. It's amazing. And you do a lot, not only for others, and we'll definitely put up a link, and we really want people to share at least the word out for the fundraiser for Christopher. But how many times have you done the Snowdrop Ultra 100-mile race?
I ran it twice. So the last year, and then when I got 149.80, and then this year I did it virtual, and it was 150. But before that, I actually volunteered 2 years. 2 years.
Oh, okay. That's how they get you. Yeah, you go to that race, and it's just this. I don't know. There's no race like it. It's one of a kind.
Yes, it is.
It is amazing. So, what made you decide to do Snowdrop? Was it the distance? Was it kind of the everything about it, or what, or the fact that you volunteered?
Snowdrop. So learning about my dad actually died of cancer when I was 12. That's how I came to the States. My dad got in the hospital, and within days he passed. The cancer is a monster, so it just took my father away. So it was that. It was also that a friend of mine had lost her grandson to cancer, to pediatric cancer. So I guess the year after I first volunteered, I didn't have the money one day when the registration opened. And so I said, I'm going to save it for the next one to register. And I had a cause. I ran for AJ for his memory. And his family is just, I was a little, scared to reach out to them and see if they will allow me to run for him, for his memory. And they are the most amazing supporters. They love that, we do something to keep his memory alive. And when I learned about the mission of Snowdrop and all the kids and their stories and the runners, it's just like you said, it's one of a kind. You haven't really run until you run Snowdrop. I think it just changes you. It's not about you. It's about these kids. You want to stop, and you're in pain, and you see the pictures of all these kids, and a kid. And I think about, like what my kids have gone through, my twin boys and my little one, and ending up in the hospital, but I've been able to come back with them. It's life-changing.
Wow. Yeah, that's it's definitely one of a kind. And whether people want to run 100, do a relay, volunteer, I'll definitely put the link up to that. And speaking of which, I know that at TIR there was also another solo runner, Scott Tyner, who I got to meet. And did you guys? When was it when you guys crossed paths? Because I know you guys started at different times. Which is, it's crazy. Like, you don't have an official start, and you just have that like, to me, a start line, I get all nervous, I get all excited. But if you don't, if you have to make your own start line, and say I'm going to run 105 miles, it's just crazy. But when did you guys cross paths? Because I know he's running for Snowdrop. Of course, you'll be running for Snowdrop this year and things like that. But was it halfway through, or?
No, I believe I was leg, or the checkpoint 9, leg 9. So it was, I started an hour before he did. So it didn't took much for him to catch me. He's quite a beast. He's very fast. And I try to, keep my steady pace, and he catch me. But it was fun. It was so much fun. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it makes it fun. I think that helped break up the monotony of the first 9 legs for you. I just kind of noticed, because it's not like you give one to the other. Like, we want to make sure we bless as many things that are happening, because we're so fortunate to be able to have, whether it's a little or a much to Snowdrop and of course to Christopher. And I just want to make sure that people know that they give a little. It makes a huge difference. It doesn't have to be a massive amount, which I've seen. You've had some massive amounts, just an anonymous donors. People they just want to give. They don't want the recognition. I think that's super cool.
It is. And it's, something just came to my mind right now. And so in 2017, when I was scheduled to do the Chevron 2017, on January, the week before, I ended up in the hospital with one of my twins. He almost, got into that. He almost passed. I almost lost one of my boys because he was diagnosed with diabetes. And so he had lost weight. He stopped eating. I mean, my kid just disappeared. And we ended up in the hospital for 1 week. And then it was, I'm going to read because I said I'm not going to cry. It was in that hospital. And like when I train, one of the places that I really like to run is at the medical center by the, Memorial Park, Herman Park, I'm sorry, or, the Rice Loop that they have in there, because it takes me back. When I was in the hospital in 2017 with my child, who almost passed, I got on my knees and I said, God, please don't take this away from me. Because I felt that I have found something that would help me deal with everything that was happening in life. And I said, I'll take this diagnosis. I'll take whatever comes with diabetes and autism and intellectual disabilities. I'll take it. But don't take running away from me. So maybe that's also why for me, there's no quitting. I don't take it lightly because it was like a gift. I feel that it's a gift, something that I found that it's inside of me that I didn't know I had. And to have the opportunity to go out and run, I enjoy doing it for a cause, not just for fun, because it means a lot to me. It means my freedom, being able to go out and just, now that I'm running a little faster sometimes, it's like, everything just goes. You're just there in that moment. So it's a precious gift for me. I don't take it for granted, and I don't take it lightly. So
I'm feeling it. I see you rocking a tutu a lot. Is that just kind of just? I mean, it probably makes you smile, but it makes us smile. It does.
It brings so much joy to people. I ran 100-milers in December in Louisiana. And I don't know if nobody runs with a tutu in Louisiana, but everybody just loves the tutu. And so I said, I'm going to do this one with the tutu, 185 miles. So that tutu was with me for 185 miles. It just brings joy to people. It's just, I don't know, it's fun. It's fun.
Well, before I ask the last 3 questions for a little lightning round, anything else that you can kind of tell people to just give them hope or joy, or just the people, the runners that just they plateau, or they could be somebody that is dealing with stuff. What kind of advice could you give them?
Maybe you will find like a success or change your perspective if you focus on someone else, maybe in volunteering. Okay, so you're injured, maybe you can volunteer. You plateau, maybe you can go and coach a new runner or bring someone else to run with you. If it's new, especially, walking, power walking. I mean, it's just, or running for a cause. If you have that gift and talent, I mean, you have to have, I feel that this is what I'm going to say. You have to have kind of an ego of, I want it. I'm not just going to go run and it has to be serious in a way, but also not so serious that it stresses you out. But I guess giving to the community, it's a great way to find, when you start focusing so much on you start seeing how everything just is going to pass. It's temporary. So if you have a bigger vision, or you find people in need and you're able to support and help, it's a big, it's like you're planting a seed. And I mean, everything is temporary. We're here for just small amount of time. And if we can use what we have been given, the gift and the we have learned by failing, by falling down, by getting up and rising high. If we can give some of that to others, not just keep it to ourselves, I think that can be a great way to break through anything.
That's awesome. That's the best 5 minutes right there. We're good. Well, I definitely want to have you on multiple times. You're going to do Snowdrop. You're going to do so much. I don't even know what you're going to be doing next year. You're going to be climbing Mount Everest. I have no idea. But yeah, thank you so much. It takes a true hero, and don't take this word lightly, because you're a true hero, just to open up, to let people know. Because so many people, they won't share, or they won't ask for help. They won't do things like that. And for you to bless us with, telling us what to do, and giving some people hope that may need it, that maybe listening to this. So feel free to definitely share this out, and I will definitely have you back on.
Thank you. I told Lisa that she was my crew, and I said he's getting the raw material, because I have not even had time. I am telling you, I go to sleep and I wake up thinking that I check my wrist to see what time it is, how many miles I have in, how much I've been sleeping, and it's like, what leg am I? I'm like, no, you're back to life, Lydia. So you're getting I haven't even had time to really process it. It's going to take, I go work and I clean houses. So when I'm mopping somebody's floor, or, washing the toilet, it's like those memories come. So I have to go and do a lot of cleaning so I can have a race. And after the race, what is it called? You see, I'm still processing everything that happened, but I will write about it. And I will be glad to be back and share more if people have questions. And I appreciate the opportunity to share. And I want to thank the crew and everybody who has donated.
Oh, yeah. Donations will keep coming in. And Lisa Decker, oh, my goodness. What an amazing crew to have. I mean, she's so positive and so full of positive energy. And yeah, this is great. But I'll ask 3 questions. Call it the lightning round, but we end up talking about it. So are you ready for your last 3 questions?
Absolutely.
All right. Question number 1, your favorite race?
Franklin's 200 2020.
So 200 miles of the Franklin Mountains?
Yes, it was the second time I did it. That has been my favorite one.
I need to step up my game. You're just making me look bad. This is awesome. Yeah. Oh yeah. And also, write down, record, you could even record YouTube videos and keep them private. Keep these vlogs for your kids, and obviously for yourself. And I don't think you're ever going to have a down day from now on. So it doesn't matter. We're going crazy here. Okay. Question number 2, your favorite after race food?
You can't go wrong with tacos.
Oh my!
Fajita tacos.
All right, straight up beef fajita, right? All right.
Yes. And that's even before doing and after that. That's just my all-time favorite food. So bring me all the tacos.
Super cool. And the last question number 3: if you could go anywhere and run, what will be your dream runcation? Make it a vacation out of it, or a solo run. You name it. You've done it all. What would be like your favorite one you'd want to do in the future? What favorite one you're going to do in the future?
So I have a desire to do the Triple Crown, the 200. I really don't know the details, but that's like a desire that I have, like a dream. The place that I would love to go and run, and, I don't know any races or what, but I just have Switzerland in my heart. It's the place that I would love to discover and find, because somewhere I read years ago that Switzerland has all this amazing adventures, not just running. So I said, one day, if I ever get the chance to, go out, I will, travel, I will go to Switzerland. So I don't know what's in there. I really don't know. I haven't, have research or planned, but it's one of the places that I would love to discover. And of course, the Triple Crown of the 200, that is definitely on my side. That is something that is going to happen sooner or later. It's going to happen.
Well, Switzerland, you're going to find out soon. Cool. I truly believe this. But also, okay, Triple Crown 200. You're going to have to give me a little bit more details on this. This sounds crazy. What's a Triple Crown 200?
So I don't, I'm so bad. I basically just hear somebody say that there's a race and I sign up. But I know Jessica Picari, she's a friend from Trot. She won. So you do 3 200-mile races. I think I'm not gonna say where people know who run, or there's people who can explain better than. But that you do 3 like within so many, like within 3 months, something like that. Like 200, and then in 2 weeks you do another 200, and then 200. So those 3. And so that I would love to do that one, because it seems like the places where they do it, it's like in the mountains. It sounds beautiful, looks beautiful. So I probably need to do research if I really want to do them. But yes, it's in my heart to do those. It's just one of the things that you hear from someone and it's like, I want to do it.
Yeah, you don't need to research. You just need the dates. You sign up and you make a decision. You just do it. Yes. You do it, not everybody else. It
was like the relay. So I thought 185 miles. I imagined flat land. Like I said, no, it was no flat at all. I had no idea what I was about to do, and I didn't even know how they had the ending. With when the teams come and they finish the relays. I had no idea they'd have this big party. So I said, well, next year I have to finish when they having that party, because I missed on all of that. But I guess sometimes just signing up without even knowing, it's just has worked for me.
Yeah, well, I really appreciate it, and I'm so happy that we're able to give back, and you are inspiring others. I'm just happen to be the person that asks the questions. But thank you so much, Lydia. I look forward to seeing you at an upcoming Trot event. Of course, Snowdrop's coming up, and thank you so much.
Thank you, appreciate it.
As always, podcasts are free. All we ask is if you know someone that could use this information, please share it with them. And please share out those fundraising links in the episode notes. There's no donation too small and obviously too big. If you want to be the first to find out about upcoming weekly episodes, simply hit the subscribe, follow, plus button. And if you like this episode, if you could rate us and leave us a quick review, we'd appreciate it. Looking forward to sharing another episode next week.
Thanks for visiting the Houston Running Zone. If you know someone you'd like to be featured in the zone, go to thehoustonrunningzone.com and send us a message. Until next week, always remember, Houston, we've got the runs.